In a nutshell, seborrheic dermatitis is a form of eczema. It is a skin disorder that is characterized by excessive oiliness. And for me, it's on my scalp. Now, I do have eczema on other parts of my body, in particular my face and my hands. But this is actually on my scalp, and it's also characterized by scales and flaking. And what I mean by scales is if you've had a scab from, maybe scraping yourself, and you know how a scab forms over that area, that's what actually forms on the scalp. Now, these things particularly take place during times of flare-up. You have times of flare-up, and you have times where your scalp is kind of at a rest place and it's not producing these type of effects, but it's generally characterized by these things. It also can be characterized by soreness because of the inflammation that's going on beneath the skin. And some researchers believe that there is a type of fungus that is also present on that area that feeds off of the sebaceous glands, and as a result, that bacteria or that fungus kind of causes some issues as well, and causes some of these effects. So that's basically what it is in a nutshell. It's a lot deeper than that, but that's the best I can do in a brief, description. My SD is not very severe. Some people deal with hair loss with theirs, and balding and things like that. I've never had an issue with hair loss. My main issues have been the scaling, the flaking, the constant itchiness, and the irritation and inflammation. And so I oftentimes deal with a sore scalp. It's just always sore, like someone has banged my head up. That's how it feels all the time, just very sensitive. I don't like a lot of pulling. But yeah, mine I would say is mild to moderate. I do have flare-up periods where the side effects are worse than other times. I'm currently kind of in a rest period right now where I'm not really dealing with a lot of scaling. I still have the itching and things like that. I guess on a more day-to-day thing that I deal with this condition is I deal with a lot of embarrassment oftentimes with it because, and I mentioned this before too, with the flakes, of course people think you have dandruff and that you're unclean. And the thing is, that could be further from the truth. I wash my hair every week and I do a good wash, but I can't really stop the fact that my scalp is producing all this oil, and then the irritation's going on, so I'm constantly scratching at my scalp, therefore pulling up these flakes. So that's one thing that causes embarrassment. But the other thing is this odor that is also produced. I can wash my hair. For instance, I washed my hair today. I promise you, 2 to 3 days from now, I'm going to have this odor coming from my scalp, and it's something I can't do anything about it. It just comes with the condition, and those who have SD, y'all know what I'm talking about. It just comes. So one of the things I have to do, if I'm not ready to wash my scalp again, what I do is I use some type of scented spray, and currently I'm using one by Shea Moisture. It's meant for something else, but because I like the smell so much and it's strong, I actually spray it on my scalp so that it masks that odor. So that's some of the things that I deal with day to day, as well as sometimes I lose sleep because my scalp is constantly itching and it's irritated. I lose sleep. I'm sitting up in the bed banging my head and doing all this and all up in there, and these are just the things that I go through as a person with SD. I know it may sound, out of this world to some people who don't really deal with this, but for those of you who do, I know y'all understand and y'all know what I'm talking about. There is no cure for SD. There are treatments. As I mentioned in the past, I've used scalpicin, I've used sulfur 8. I've also used essential oils that attack bacteria, such as tea tree oil. That's a really good one, and I use that in my shampoos. And it works for a short time, but it's nothing that's going to give long-term benefits or long-term healing, I would say, of the condition. So it's something that I have to treat every day, every week. Currently, I'm using for shampoo the Trader Joe's Tea Tree Tingle. That's been a really great shampoo. I've also used VO5. I think it's their clarifying shampoo. It's a green shampoo, and I think it's the kiwi scent. So those are the shampoos that I'm rotating right now. And then as far as something to put on my scalp after that, I'm using the sulfur 8, as I mentioned before, and this is the light formula. And I had a question on one of my videos where someone was just saying, doesn't putting things on your scalp make the condition worse? Generally, it does. I would not recommend putting things on a scalp that is suffering from SD, because moisturizers, oils, all those types of things tend to irritate that type of scalp condition. But what I found with using the sulfur 8 is that because of the sulfur content in it, I haven't really had any negative side effects from using that product. I mean, I can go over a week using that product and I have no issues. But I wouldn't recommend it to anyone to do that. It's something you would have to try and see if it works for you. This does work for me, and like I said, I have no issues, but I think it's because of the sulfur, the amount of sulfur in the product, and that's helping to minimize any other side effects that I would have as a result of putting a oil or a grease type product on my scalp. So I think that's it in a nutshell. I've kind of shared how it is for me dealing with SD on a daily basis and what it is. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I am an open book when it comes to this. I've had a lot of people email me and message me and discuss their issues with SD and ask questions, and that's totally fine. I am not, a doctor by any means, but I do have experience with this condition, and I've kind of been through the gamut when it comes to treatments. I've had prescription treatments before using steroids, and then I've started to do this over-the-counter type of treatment as of late. So I've kind of been through it all in my short time of living. So if you have any questions, or if you just like to comment about what you're using to treat your SD, please feel free to do so. Leave a comment, message me, let me know. Again, I'm open and I'm willing to discuss this. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.